welcome to Movie Review Mom. I am Movie Review Mom. The movie that I'm reviewing today is A Dog's Way Home. It is rated PG and it is 1 hour and 36 minutes. The grade that I gave it is a B, and I'll tell you why. First, A Dog's Way Home is based on the heartwarming novel by W. Bruce Cameron. Now, I haven't read the book, and I heard that there were quite a few things that were left out of the movie, but if you haven't read the book, you won't miss them. I didn't either. This is a feel-good drama, but it is not a sequel to A Dog's Purpose, which was a cute movie. There actually will be a sequel to that film, but it hasn't come out yet. Now, this movie, it's certainly not a unique story or film, although it's charming and family-friendly. We've seen this film before, or at least the idea, in the 1993 Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey. Adorable, very family-friendly. And its sequel, Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco, which I actually never saw, but I'm sure it's cute. It's about animals, pets, so it's got to be cute, right? But what makes this particular homebound adventure different is the definition of families that you see in the film. If you're a dog lover, you'll probably cry. If not, you'll at least get a little lump in your throat. It's sweet. This movie actually hit theaters back in January of 2019, and the reason I'm posting this review is because it's going to be available for streaming and on DVD on April 9th, 2019. So first, a few tips for parents. There's no profanity. Yay, thank you. That's so nice and so refreshing. It's actually almost rare to see a PG movie in theaters, right? There's a gay biracial couple, and then there's another dating and then later married biracial couple. A homeless man dies. There are some sad moments, that being definitely one of them, although it's handled very subtly. And then you might have to explain to your kids what poachers are, because they're shown also very briefly, and your young kids may not pick up quite on what that's all about, other than it leaves a child or an animal child motherless when the mother gets killed and taken away. You might also have to talk to your kids about the Veterans Administration, what that is, and why returning soldiers might need therapy and why they can be so sad. Some themes for the movie are racism for dogs. The movie takes into a huge theme, breed discrimination. It's particularly about pit bulls. And one of the characters says, that's racism for dogs, which I actually thought was kind of funny. Another running theme is persistence, because this dog does not give up, gets distracted a little bit, but it doesn't give up. Family, and like I mentioned, the variety of families that you see displayed in the movie. Certainly kindness to animals and love. Love to animals, but also the love that we receive from animals. Okay, so some things that I really liked. First of all, Bella the dog is adorable, especially when she's a puppy. I mean, she's just too cute, so there's that. People who are afraid of pit bulls by reputation will probably look at them differently now. You know, they have a reputation of being fierce and mean and killing people, and they have. But Bella is awesome and sweet, and you just don't get the scary pit bull vibe from her at all. And in fact, I'm always fascinated by how they can get movies to do the things that they do in the movies. Sometimes Bella is portrayed with CGI Bella. And sometimes you don't notice it so much, and sometimes it's pretty noticeable. But I'll talk more about that in a minute. So Bella, the featured dog, is voiced by the talented Bryce Dallas Howard. I just love her sweet voice. And her famous father, Ron Howard, actually has a tiny cameo performance. You'll miss him if you blink. He's in the scene towards the end of the movie where Bella is trying to cross a freeway, and people stop to get out of their cars to catch her and to help her. And then that's it. Like, he doesn't say anything. He's just there really quickly. But that's cool. And I'm sure it has something to do with his daughter doing the voice of this little dog. Anyway, the cast also includes Ashley Judd, who's just very sweet, and Barry Watson, who's Bella's owner, basically. And then I was surprised to see Academy nominees Edward James Olmos and Wes Studi play such small roles, but they're there and they do a great job. They're there and then they're gone. Because really the star of the movie is Bella the dog, as it should be. There are just a few tiny, cute, but short little musical montages. I saw a movie not too long ago, and the whole movie was musical montages, which to me is just lazy writing. Like they couldn't come up with dialogue or another way to move the story forward. And it's not that way at all. They could have easily added lots of musical montages with Bella going on her adventures without dialogue and story and all of that. But anyway, I just thought it was handled really well. The dog's commentary and perspective on things were really cute. Just the things that she says and how she defines things, I guess. Anyway, it was cute. There's some beautiful landscapes. Now, the story is supposed to take place in Colorado, but it was actually filmed in British Columbia, Canada. And it's just beautiful. There's a little kitten cougar, and I should have looked this up before I recorded. I don't know if baby cougars are called kittens, but that's what Bella calls her, is a kitten. Even when she grows up to be a big cougar, Bella still calls this cougar a kitten. Anyway, as a kitten, this little cougar makes adorable little sounds, and so I don't know if they really sound like that as kittens or not, but she was super cute, and she was entirely CGI. Well, I shouldn't say that. As a kitten, she looked pretty real. She could have been, but definitely as she got older, she was definitely CGI and noticeably CGI. Kids won't be able to notice, I don't think, and it won't bother them. But, adults will just kind of go, I mean, it's good CGI, but it's definitely CGI. And then one thing that just cracked me up was they're in the middle of nowhere in the mountains, and several times different characters got on their cell phones. And I thought, wow, that's pretty good cell phone reception out there. So if you love dogs, by the way, you'll be happy to know that the dog that played the adult version of Bella was actually a rescue dog that was found living in a junkyard in Tennessee. So that's pretty cool. And then the wolves in the movie are called coy-wolves, which is kind of a wolf-coyote hybrid. And sometimes they looked real, and then sometimes they looked CGI as well. And I appreciated that there was a portrayal of pet therapy for veterans. And I'm so glad that it has been growing in use in VA hospitals and other places, because pets, especially dogs, well, I shouldn't say especially, cats are too, very therapeutic, and I think they should be used, if you're not allergic, of course. Now, here are a few things that I didn't like. When Lucas brings home Bella, and there's a whole backstory about that. But anyway, he brings her home, and his mom reminds him that their lease does not allow pets. So here's my biggest gripe with this movie. They both completely ignore that fact. So they're breaking the contract. And I ask myself, now how is that fair to the owner of the house, or even legal? It's not, or even ethical. Just because they want it doesn't mean that they get to have the pet, right? I own rental property, so that's probably why this kind of really bothered me. Some houses I allow pets, it just kind of depends on the situation, but they have to pay a pet deposit. There was no mention of that in the movie. And anyway, it bothered me because this is a children's movie, right? It's for families, and within minutes, really, they're breaking the law. And not just that, some other things too, where Lucas is breaking the law. The movie takes place in Denver, where apparently pit bulls are illegal. So Lucas and his mom are also breaking a city ordinance by keeping Bella. They try to resolve that by having Bella go to another location outside of city boundaries, which is great. And then it gets ridiculous where these mean city officials are just mean, and they're trying to enforce the law, but of course they're mean. And that whole idea just bothers me. If there's a law, there's probably a good reason for it. Now, I don't mean to say that all laws are reasonable, because they're not. If there's a really dumb law, then it should be changed. And they don't go into why that this is a city ordinance. But anyway, just bringing this up because I just ask, what message does that send to our kids? Yes, rescuing an animal is awesome, but breaking the law is not. So use that opportunity when you watch this movie with your kids to talk about it. When is it okay to break the law? When is it not okay? And are you willing to accept the consequences, and what would they be? Anyway, so it certainly could be a good spur for conversation with your kids. Let's see, and what else? Here's, in a nutshell, the trailer basically shows you the entire story, including the ending. Yes, there's some details that are left out, but if the trailer appeals to you, then sure, watch the movie, it's cute. And if you're like, yeah, okay, I've seen it, then you can move on to something else. Anyway, I would love to know what you thought of the movie, so please comment. I love it when you guys comment and let me know what you thought, and I love it when we get a good conversation going. So please leave your comments and please subscribe. This is a new channel, and so tell your friends, tell other parents that these are movie reviews from a mom's perspective. I'm trying to give parents the heads up on what movies might be best for their families. Anyway, enjoy this movie, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.